Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to round one of the ESR FRJ Tour de France at the Circuit de Charade GP pre-post commentary. I am very attractive, and with me as always is the man who once strangled a badger using only his toes, Michael Megas.
I have never strangled something using just my toes. Although Gogo Plata would be kind of close.
I currently have my cat's claws stuck in my forearm. He reached out, did a big old stretch, plonked his claws right in there, and is just looking at me.
Good work, Goose.
Goose has pecked me. I am being henpecked, as one would perhaps. Oh my God! Don't flex the goddamn eye.
My co-commentator may or may not be being killed by a goose, and
he just decided to do like the bigger stretch, but the fucking claws are still in my goddamn arm.
I think he's trying to make a point.
He's got several points. Thank you.
Well, I was going with more than he owns you.
Oh my God! He ain't own nothing. He doesn't even buy his own food.
I mean, is that not sign that he owns you? You buy his food.
No.
All right, we're in qualifying here. We got 3 races on tap, 2 15-minute ones, and a 30-minute race to finish it up. You know what? A little bit surprised to see Adam Komorowski up on the pole position. We're not usually used to him being on the pole, but these Formula 3 cars they're weird. They're very weird. They're a specific skill set to learn. Magic Kashuk will join him on the front row, followed by Andrew D, Sebastian Gunther, Fotis Zoglu, Martin Edmonds, Antonio Costa, Remy Verhaeghe.
Oh, Antonio.
Christian Kukovic, and Serge Hendricks. Hey, Serge is back. He's your top 10.
Serge Hendrick X. Oh my God.
Steve Davidson, James Butler, Enrique Hervas, Yuri Kratashvili, Bertrand Barrier, Jeff Ecott, who I believe is new, Andy Darnell, Alexis Roger, Rick Martel, Chris Willems, Adam Stewart, Melvin Brandt, Vic Vega, and more.
Victor.
We got some Gulf Oil liveries, Byron.
Hell yeah, let's go. Got some Gulf Oil. We got cars. The tires are clearly designed to just fly off of. Let's do this thing.
I think we got some DH. I think DHL is the yellow one, and we got the Aston Martin themed cars with the dark green and the yellow. Perhaps some orange sponsored cars. We'll find out.
DHL clearly standing for Donkey Hotel Libertad.
I think it's DHL. Anyways, I could just pull up the store page here.
Do it. I dare you.
I am doing it.
Double dare you.
I don't know why you're double daring me for things.
I triple the double dare. Oh my God, there's a lot of cars, dog.
There's a lot of cars. $30 cars on the grid. Mauricio Julian bringing up the back, and here we go. Adam Komorowski in the lead from Magic Kashuk in the Gulf Oil car. And I think we have a Gulf Oil car in 3rd place in the form of Andrew D. There is no DHL car. It's Deutsche Post.
Deutsche Hotel
as well as
Angostina.
Deutsche Post is the yellow. The Aston Martin themed ones are the Breitling company. I have no idea what that is.
Ooh, Breitling?
Breitling.
Sounds like some sort of a D&D character.
We got
the Breitlings.
The light blue is Team Samsung. We also have Motor Cats, Mountaintop Racing, Castrol Edge, of course. Golf, like I said. Recaro. Etihad, which is the black cars. Orange Motorsports. I was right! Orange is here.
Breitling. Swiss luxury watches of style, purpose, and action.
There we go.
Would be all right if you guys sponsored this.
We have a couple of oil companies, of course, throughout the field, including Shell, Mobil 1. We got the Blue Arrow team, the BJS, Sparco, Snap-on. Oh yeah, JVC Racing. Team Schaeffler and Hero Racing.
Oh boy.
Somebody in the wall that is Chris Willems.
Mr. Villains, you have been spun, yeah?
So a little bit of side-by-side action. These cars can get very, very unstable, for the record.
So I clicked on the Breitling webpage just to see what's up, and you know who apparently is the big-ass spokesman of Breitling?
Oh, do tell.
Erling Haaland.
Okay.
Right there in bold black and white.
There's Enrique Hervas in the not the DHL, the Deutsche Post car.
See.
And somebody is sideways on the track. That is Alexis Roget. Who is falling backwards through the field. Still Komorowski leading from Kazchuk, Gupter, Edmonds, Verhalg. I'm not really sure how to say that 6th place name. Zoglu, Kubovic, Costa, and Hendricks. As Waylon Kreis goes a little bit wide there. There's our boy Rick Martel.
I'm gonna have to go with Verhaeg.
Whoa, hang on. Rick Martel is not in a Gulf Oil car. What is this?
Me now.
Rick is in the Breitling.
Maybe he likes snazzy watches. His watches are kind of snazzy, I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, but I feel like a man who has painted his house the color of Gulf Oil has a Gulf Oil custom rig. Not in a Gulf Oil car. Oh, Bertrand Barrier getting side by side with Enrique Hervas, and he comes off the worst on the matter.
Are there teams in this? Maybe it was a team choice.
There may be a team thing. Yeah. Let's see.
They made the wrong choice. But, you know.
There are teams. Rick is on the team. Rick Rolling.
Hell
with,
yeah.
Mauricio Julian, James Butler, and Adam Komorowski.
Hell yeah.
I feel like this is a case of Rick being overruled by his 3 teammates.
And they're wrong, so, you know, get your shit together, guys.
Well, in fairness, one of his teammates is leading the race, so...
Bro, I'm gonna let you in a little secret here. These Erling Haaland watches, not cheap.
No. We also have we have a couple of teams that are just named after their communities. So we have Tugas Racing Team, we have French RaceRoom French Racer, we have the Petrol Heads, the Gearheads, the Yellow Submarines, yeah!
Alright.
Mauricio Delgado, Max Simmons, Josiah Jerome, and Enrique Hervas, the Yellow Submarines.
Very nice.
We also have What the Fuck is a Kilometer? Brabham, the Black Sheep, the Gearheads, the Piston Heads, the First Lap Heroes, we're going to keep an eye on them, and also Canadian Pole 2.0, Martin Edmonds, Magic Kazchuk, Andrew D, Steve Davidson.
I think
that feels like a slightly overpowered team. I'm gonna be honest.
All I can see in my brain is like maybe a scene from the Warriors where the Gearheads and the Piston Heads have to go to battle against each other because, you know, they're clearly overlapping on name choices here.
That's true.
But they've made their own like battle armor out of cardboard and painted it up.
We also have 4 teams that don't seem to have anybody on them, which kind of confuses me. The Red Light Gazers, the Nitro Knights, Vulture Bilal, and Algeria e Cerveza Fria. Timo Ryder looking to make a move there for 23rd place against Mauricio Julian. Mauricio hanging on. Mauricio Julian, Mauricio Delgado, not on the same team.
Seems like a missed opportunity.
One is on the Yellow Submarines, and the other is on the Rick Rolling.
You just need a third guy, and then you could be Team Mauricio.
Antonio Costa falling back as Serge Hendricks goes to battle against Fotis Zoglu. And further back, it is Sebastian Guter getting a little physical with one of the Gulf Oil cars, giving him a bit of a shove wide.
Let's get physical.
Jeff Ecott losing a spot there to Enrique Hervas in the Yellow Submarine car, the Deutsche Post livery.
Yeah, boy.
Mauricio Delgado, 21st place. And oh, Waylon Crace losing
Oh,
control.
right in the middle of the track.
Yeah. Knocks somebody else off. Enrique Hervas also off the track. Up in some of these dangerous walled areas. Oh boy. Martin Edmonds in 4th place. Going very, very wide. Can we get a look at the 3 wide there? No offense, I don't really need to see Enrique Hervas rejoin the track. Oh no! Martin's in the wall. The 3 wide ends in tears for the Canadian. He'll drop out of the top 10.
R.I.P. Martin. He reduced.
As he successfully rejoins without too much issue. Now, the bright side about these cars is that they do take damage really, really well. As Craig Marks has an off there. So it's Komorowski over Kazchuk and Gunther. Then Andrew D, Verhaag, Zoglu, Costa, Hendricks, Davidson, and James Butler into the top 10. Whoa, that's somebody out of control there. That is, I think, Martin Edmonds again. Yep. Not really sure what happened to him. Some dirty tires, maybe?
Perhaps dipped out to collect himself a Breitling lunch.
Perhaps. And Adam Stewart. With the power slide. My apologies if I burp into the mic. I'm having gas issues.
I will make no apologies.
Well, that's because you're unprofessional.
I may lean into that son of a bitch.
Melvin Brandt trying to make his way up as he trails Rick Martel and Timo Ryder. Antonio Costa's making his way back up through the field. He had a really rough start and has been recovering nicely. Chris Willems and Enrique Hervas, we see both of them off multiple times as they battle over 28th position. The field is pretty close together considering how many offs we've seen. There's roughly not a lot of big gaps forming. There's a couple. Raul Valoria and Bertrand Barrier are quite far apart, as is Butler and Davidson, but that's about it. By the way, Raul Valoria, tip of the hat to you, sir. Plus 12 places. Ooh, Serge Hendricks is in the wall. Fotis Zoglu getting a little cheeky there. And Steve Davidson says, thank you, I will take the spot. Melvin Brandt making his way through, so it looks like he's got a little bit of pace on the guys around him. Trying to maybe get back to... I didn't catch if he's behind where he qualified or not, but he does look a little bit out of the league of Rick Martel and Timo Ryder. Actually, this is kind of funny because there's a YouTuber I watch named Aiden Millward who does like a lot of like history, like story time things. And he was recently talking about these very cars and bemoaning how he couldn't possibly drive one. And he's just like, he was like, it's not the height. My height is fine. My feet are roughly the right size. It's this success ballast that I'm carrying around at the midsection. Martin Edmonds trying to make his way back through the field as he overtakes Vic Vega for 21st place.
I'm going to say Aiden Ross, and I was going to have to throw up a little bit in my mouth.
No, Aiden Millward. He's a little bit of a rotund English fellow.
Millward and the Masters of the Universe.
Used to do a lot of sim racing stuff, but now it's a lot of F1 story time.
That's cool.
Oof. Remy Varhog spins Andrew D out.
I don't know how you're getting a hog out of that. I'm going to go with Haig.
Haig? Haig. We'll go with Haig.
Good Haig.
I think it's because there's literally a character in the novel I'm reading right now named Verhaag. I think that's what's doing me in here.
Good old Vandersnout himself.
Fotis Zoglu moving back through the field. Gets clipped in the rear there by Andrew D, but I would say that's a fair contact. Went for a little bit of an aggressive move there. Adam Stewart making his way past Enrique Hervas. We've lost Melvin Brandt from the race.
No.
29 cars.
He was my favorite. Suddenly.
Vic Vega battling with Mauricio Julian. We've seen these two go head-to-head a couple times. And Martin Edmonds picking up another spot, overtaking one of the yellow submarine cars. In fact, I would say the yellow submarine car, because that's Mauricio Delgado.
See. They roll in, they drive in, something, 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 go to a car wash.
On board with Serge Hendricks as he runs in the top 10, despite a contact earlier. And Christian Kubovic getting shoved off by James Butler.
Rude.
A little rude.
But I enjoy it.
Enrique Hervas picking up a spot there over a struggling Chris Willems. So either the car looks like it's kind of driving Willems and not the other way around right now. Maybe some damage. We have seen him off the track a couple of times.
It would have been funnier if his parents would have named him Wilhelm.
Wilhelm Willems? Or Willems?
Wilhelm Willems. Please report to the principal's office, yeah.
I don't know if I want to say. I don't want to say. Want to know if I want to say her name.
Do it.
Well, it's a little rude.
Do it.
Okay. All right. I will not say.
Nope.
I will not say the name, but I will relay the story. So an admin of another community was talking with me the other day about, and it's a community that keeps it very, very professional. So you do actually have to use your real name. They will challenge it, which is a bit much, but still. And she was telling me about this new racer's name and was pretty sure it was fake. I'm like, well, what do you want to do? It's like, turns out, totally legit name. Last name just happens to be Gas.
So if I showed up with the name Sebastian Gundersnipe, they'd probably be like, nah, I don't think that's real.
They would ask some questions.
Well, my parents were gypsies and I lived in Germany, and
I do somewhat agree. I have always said I do agree with the real name thing. I don't know what it is, but almost everyone I've raced with that has like a very obvious fake name tends to be a dickhead.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what really accounts for this pattern, but it seems like making people race under like a name encourages better behavior. Now, I personally am not going to bother figuring out if it's your real name. If you say your name is Scott Williams, your name is Scott Williams. I don't care.
If you show up with some sort of weird X on the end of your name, we're going to assume that you're lying.
But if your name is...
Looking at you, sir.
If your name is Dive Bomb, just to use an example...
Wow.
I have questions.
Call out the second worst person in the world.
He is on my list of worst drivers I've ever driven with, I'll put it that way. There are not many worse.
There's only one man, and he...
No, Zool is not actually the worst driver I've ever driven with. There's worse.
I'm going to go with me.
I only drove with you once, and aside from, you driving off the track a lot, there wasn't really a problem.
Yeah.
Martin Edmonds off the track, by the way.
See, Martin's not so easy, is it? You need to be more professional like me. And just quit.
The worst driver I ever drove with. Okay, well, the worst driver I ever drove with was a guy who was from Finland but lived in the Philippines and just had terrible, terrible thing. This was back in like the early 2000s. It wasn't his fault. It was not possible to drive with him. It just wasn't. He would report incidents to the stewards, and they would review the replay, and it just like his version of reality and everyone else's version of reality were not remotely close. So excluding that. Oh, contact. Martin pushed off again, this time by Lacombe. I don't think we've seen... You know what? I'm going to credit Lacombe here for a hot second. Because last time he raced with us, we were commenting on his accidents the entire race. I haven't said his name prior to this moment. So, improvement.
Well done.
A late snipe there from Enrique Hervas against Adam Stewart to take 25th place in the final corner.
Good old Ricky
And
Spanish.
Timo Ryder is right there with him. Chris Willems bringing up 28th place, and the last place finisher will be Craig Marks in the Shell car. Craig Marks looked like he had some pace, but he was off the track a lot. And, you know, the bright side when you're off the track a lot is it means that improvement is really easy to find. And that can motivate you a lot. Speaking from personal experience, I get the most discouraged in my racing when I can't figure out what to improve.
I believe just adding more brake fluid will fix
Also,
it.
I believe we just went on board with Melvin Brandt, who was summoned to his home planet, so that might explain his deal. Adam Komorowski, your winner, led all the way pretty much, finishing in second place, Magic Kaszczuk, followed by Sebastian Buchter, Remy Verhaeg in fourth place. Fotis Zoglu, a eventful fifth place run. Andrew D fell to sixth, followed by Steve Davidson, Serge Hendricks, Antonio Costa, James Butler, Andy Darnell, Christian Kubovic. Was it Jeff Ecott? I think it was Jeff Ecott. Yuri Krachachville, and the rest you'll have to check the website out for because you've gone into formation for race number 2. So this should be top 8 reverse grid, if I'm understanding the rules correctly. Which means our pole sitter should be Serge Hendricks. And it looks like I'm right, because it is a red car up front.
I see a red car and I want it painted blue and orange.
I think the most interesting improvement story I had was I was working with a guy named Tyson to improve his driving. It was like a sort of an academy setup. And he was so happy one day. He's like, my God, I did a 2-minute run around Imola, which is a terrible lap for the record. But he was so happy with himself. So very happy. Serge Hendricks leads the way from Steve Davidson and Fotis Zoglu into the first corner. I do not really know this track, so don't expect any knowledge. Although I like the look of it, to be honest. It looks fun. I should pick it up and buy it in RaceRoom when I get back to utilizing the RaceRoom a lot more. Zoglu taking second place there on the outside of Steve Davidson and Andrew D in the background. So 2 golf cars in 3rd and 4th place, with Adam Komorowski up to 5th after starting in 8th. Contact in the background, one of the shell cars off, that is Waylon Crace in the background. Looks like we are going to be robbed of some of the tower here, because I think we have 29 cars and we're only seeing 28. Or maybe not, because Waylon Crace fell all the way back. Maybe we lost somebody. We'll have to figure out if we can't, if somebody's missing outside of Melvin Brandt. Adam Komorowski makes his way up into 4th position. He's placing Andrew D. And Mauricio Delgado off to a pretty good start. He's up, mixing it up for about, 15th place?
Maybe.
Or 16th?
Umpteenth.
Jeff Ecott running in 12th. Running side by side with the young superstar Yuri Katachkin, who is a rising star in the sim racing ranks. Bertrand Barrier, one of your favorites, because, well, he's either winning or having an incredibly incident-filled race, and these are the only 2 options. Interesting note, it looks like the all-French team, normally when you go all French, you expect blue cars. They've gone with the orange racing cars. Interesting.
Everybody quickly dress up like the safety car.
Somebody heading into the pits, so I think that is Remy Verhaeg, who may have picked up some kind of penalty. Maybe a jump start. I'm not sure.
He has been fined 5 kumquats for being cheeky.
He was in the top 10, so I doubt this is a pit stop for damage. Just doesn't seem very likely. And I can't imagine why he would be underfueled, for example. So I imagine a stop or a drive-through penalty that we didn't see pop up on the screen.
He obviously needs to top up his windshield wiper fluid.
Looks like he's rejoined behind Lacomi in 20th place, so I think that seems likely. but keep your eyeballs on the 20th place car, everybody. He should probably be coming through the field, given that he is, you know, out of position. Otis Zoglu falling backwards, so the second place car is off. And looking like he's having a hard time rejoining. Oh boy! Oh boy! Takes to the grass to avoid contact. Probably not a bad idea. Oh! Raul Valoria right into the wall. Not sure what happened there. Didn't look like he had contact with anybody.
Perhaps it was a certain Philippine gentleman.
He was going side by side with, I think that was Yuri Kratashvili. But it didn't look like there was contact. Komorowski, by the way, has hit the front, so he's looking to do the double-double today. Leading from Steve Davidson and Serge Hendricks. For that, Timo Ryder going side by side with Mauricio Julian. I do like the fact that we have teams this season. It's at least letting me kind of identify whose car is who. Jeff Ecott getting shoved wide. And Mauricio Delgado, unfortunately, is in the wall, as is Rick Martel. At the same corner? How can you do this to Byron? He's torn up inside over this.
I will now go find a nice, gentle bus to walk out in front of.
His two favorite drivers, both in the wall.
I mean, did they put each other in the wall?
Didn't look like it. They were a couple of spots apart.
Well, junk. Because I'm alright with it as long as it's mutually assured destruction.
Chris Willems is also off the track. And Mauricio Julian spins Timo Ryder around. Now, I'm going to defend Julian there for a second. I don't think Ryder should have been trying to make that move happen. It's kind of a yellow flag. Oh, God, Enrique!
Friggin' yikes.
Enrique has a death wish reversing on the track. A lot of action and a lot of incidents going on here. Some of them are definitely bad driving, but I think some of it is also attributable to the car. I hate this car. It is incredibly unstable.
Everybody knows that all you have to do is make it lighter. And therefore
Somebody going very slow there. That is Alexis Rouget falling backwards through the field. Maybe oh, Lord! Oh, God. 3-car pileup.
Oh, boy.
Fotis Zoglu involved. Alexis Rouget. I didn't catch who the third car was. But Jeff Ecott is quietly putting together a solid run here in 11th place. He is trailing Bertrand Barrier and teammate Andy Darnell. Craig Marks picking up a spot. And Magic Kazchuk, who, if memory serves, was on the podium. He was in the first race, is battling first position as Craig Marks comes in the pit lane. Martin Edmonds and Yuri Kratashvili. Martin having some bad luck there. I would say Yuri is somebody who's going to be to watch on this particular series because he is a very aggressive driver, often to his own detriment, and I can't really see that being a good recipe with these cars.
Could be worse somehow.
I think he had a decent result in race 1. Yeah, 14th place, and he's up in 13th currently, so he's having a decent time of it. As one of the golf cars is off the track, that is Andrew D. falling backwards. Although Antonio Costa going very slow, maybe he got a slowdown penalty. And that allows D back into the top 5. So the big winner on that is Christian Kubovic, who's having a phenomenal second race. I apologize, Christian, for not picking up on that earlier, but you are in 4th place and having a stellar race number 2. For reference, he finished 12th in race 1, so he's up 8 spots.
How about that Martin Edmonds? He got up 17 spaces.
Well, he was a little bit out of place, though, so I was expecting him to go forward, so I'm less impressed.
Wow, he's trying really hard, man.
Lacomi off the track, and rejoins without too much issue.
Mike just talking shit. You gotta do something to impress me. Man's gone up 17 spaces.
Sir, at least I'm not James Hunt. Don't make me pull out my James Hunt impersonation.
Is that where you run around the track barefoot?
No, it's where I get kind of mildly racist and like really against drivers I've driven with. One of you will be declared my version of Riccardo Patrese if we get to that point.
Mike starts going tabernacle and Frenchists. We don't like him.
Oh no! The Riccardo Patrese, James Hunt straight up accused Riccardo Patrese of murder on multiple broadcasts.
Wow, that seems a bit excessive.
He to his I'm pretty sure to his dying breath held Riccardo Patrese responsible for Ronnie Peterson's death in 1978, and was not shy about informing you of that fact at every given opportunity. Serge Hendricks in 3rd place. Started the race on pole, has fallen back, but is still very much in line for a podium here. With just 5.5 minutes to go. They are way behind Komorowski, so shout out to Adam Komorowski, who has tamed this beast somehow.
Use a big stick.
Rounding off the top 10, it is Kubovic, D, Costa, Kazchuk, Butler, Darnell, and Barrier. Speaking of which, there is Bertrand on the tail of Andy Darnell.
I say, Bertrand.
For the back, Alexis Roget on the tail of our boy Rick Martel. Canada versus France as Barrier makes up a spot. And it was very tempting for Martin to try to go for one there, but oh no, Enrique. Enrique's having a bad day.
Ricky Spanish OP.
It's taken out there in side-by-side contact with Lacomi, and he is going to retire. Craig Marks, by the way, retired after going into the pits, so I assume something terminal was wrong with the car. Hopefully he sticks around for race number 3. Oh, in the background there, one of the Castrol cars getting into it. And Jeff Ecott off the track.
Perhaps he was trying to journey to the Ecott Center in Florida.
Bertrand Barrier in the top 10. Battling it out with Andy Darnell, who's gotten back in front of him. And Martin Edmonds, you can see in the rearview mirror there in the Golf liveried car. Martin would like to get into the top 10, please. He fancies his chances at a championship.
Well, I mean, at this stage in the series, Brain, thanks for coming up with that one pretty quick. Everybody technically right now is the champion.
Well, I was more referencing the fact that the people who usually beat Martin in the championship are kind of not here. So a big opportunity is Remy Verhaeghe has a moment there in 15th place.
Is it safe to assume that Martin just needs to put more people in the wall?
I mean, he better do that now because there's not a lot of wall at the next couple of tracks. Well, there isn't a couple. We do have Pau on the schedule. You're going to like Pau, Byron.
Edgar Allan? Or
Pau is a track in France that has some vague similarities. When I say vague, I mean strong similarities to your favorite track, Macau.
Delightful.
D running in 5th place. Is in behind him. It is Antonio Costa and Magic Kazchuk. Somebody off the track and falling back. That is Mauricio Julian. We've also lost Timo Reiter from the race. Down to 25 cars. Martin Edmonds still trying to find a way past Bertrand Barrier. And I'll tell you who's really happy about Martin's attack right now. Andy Darnell, because he's getting a little bit of breathing room there in 9th place. Adam Stewart having a bit of an off there. Not sure how customizable these cars are from a setup standpoint. I remember them being kind of limited.
I believe you can invert the camber on 3 out of the 4 tires.
Interesting. Waylon Crace having a better second race than he did in the first race. Alan Rick Martel for 19th spot. Or am I thinking of somebody else? Nope, I am not. He is who I'm thinking of. Christian Kubovic having a stunning race number 2 still, although he is under pressure as D, Costa, and Kazchuk are catching up to the back of him. He tries to get past Steve Davidson for the podium. Serge Hendricks, by the way, at some point overtook Davidson for second. On board with Antonio Costa. And Fotis Zoglu, who is looking for a good result, is probably going to have to settle for like a top 20. As Martin Edmonds goes into the wall again.
Wow.
That was a little bit of a hit. Little bit of a hip check by Bertrand Barrier there. Adam Stewart off track. Waylon Crace also off track.
Remember, kids, track often. Oh no, off tracking. No, wait, don't do either of those things.
One of the Gulf Oil cars off there, that was Andrew D losing a spot to Antonio Costa. Christian Kubovic is a man on a mission. He's got one corner. Can he get it done? No. Actually, it looks like he has another lap. Never mind. I was wrong. I thought he was down to one corner.
Gulf Oil to the front.
Looks like Adam Komorowski taking victory here today for the second time. As Alexis Roger is in the wall. So top 12 reverse grid, I think, I have good news. Martin Edmonds, I think by my logic, will start on pole. Ahead of Yuri Kratachville, Bertrand Barrier, and Andy Darnell.
And no one will catch him until he goes all squealy off the track again.
Well, I don't know. We did see Komorowski like cut through this field like butter, and he's got an extra 15 minutes next race to do it again.
Fair enough.
Komorowski, your winner from Hendricks, Davidson, Kubovic, Costa, D, Kazchuk, Butler, Darnell, Barrier, Kratachville, and Edmonds. That is the reverse grid, is my understanding. Then we have Raul Valoria, Vic Vega, Remy Verhaeg, Jeff Ecott, Mauricio Delgado, 17th place. Next. Henrik Martel right next to him in 18th. Fotis Zoglu. Is it Lemmy Lacomi? I forget his first name.
I believe it's Leonardo.
Lezek Lacomi.
It's not Leonardo?
Lezek. Alexis Roger, Mauricio Julian, Adam Stewart, Waylon Crace, and Chris Willems. We lost Ryder, Hervas, and Marks. Might have lost Gunther from the entire field, which is a shame because he was on the podium in race 1.
Alexis,
I imagine, if I were to guess, that is a technical issue, probably a game crash. Because usually, in my experience, you don't leave the server after you take a podium in race 1 willingly.
Maybe he just really, really had to go eat like a big batch of corn dogs.
Well, I would say more likely the game crashed or spousal aggro. James Butler is starting at the front, so it looks like it's only a top 8 reverse. Thought it would be a top 12. But, we are off. Butler on pole from Kaschuk.
I was going to ask, because you said the first one was top 8, and then this was top 12, and that didn't...
It says top 8 on short races, top 12 on long races, which this was a long race.
Well, now, this was a long race. The previous one was short.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Top 12 on the long race.
Yeah, but they haven't run this race yet.
The reverse... Oh, my Lord. There is a pileup.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
Lord. There appears to be some lag spikes going on here, so I am... It's going to be an interesting one to sort out there. By the way, we've got the tower glitch where we only have the top 22.
I believe everybody would be penalized 72 points. Whole field.
So what I think it is the top 12 gets reversed at like Paul Ricard and RaceRoom Raceway because they are 30 and 30-minute races.
Yeah.
Anyways, Butler is up front, so he's appreciating the top 8 reverse from Kaschuk. Komorowski, by the way, is already up into 3rd place. And on the hunt. He wants 3 straight. Martin Edmonds in 4th place. He's at a grid start. Bertrand Barrier, Serge Hendricks, Antonio Costa, Raul Valoria, Jeff Ecott, and Remy Verhey top 10. Mauricio Delgado up to 11th. Christian Kuvic is not at a good start. He is battling with Fotis Zoglu over 12th.
Currently stuck in a mountain.
Currently in the wall.
Foot on the wall.
Currently in reverse on the track. That's a little problematic. Andy Darnell off to a bad start. He's down in 21st position. Remy Verhaeg is off to a good start. Unlike last race, but he may have jumped the start. I still don't know what the drive-through was for. Bertrand Barrier in 5th.
I'm having a weird buffering thing.
Okay.
Please continue.
All right, let me know when your buffering is sorted out, and we will... I'll keep it running, obviously, keep running commentary, but I'll give you a time cue.
Well, I would have told you, but you just kept talking, and now I'm offended, and that man, oh, God. I am now at 27:43.
Skip forward about 10 seconds.
Oh, wow, I would do, but apparently more buffering. Wow.
Andy Darnell looking to make a move down the inside of Mauricio Julian, but the door is closed. In the background is Waylon Crace, as well as Steve Davidson. Ooh, Steve Dave must have gotten caught up in the lap 1 carnage, because he's down in 21st.
Yikes.
After being on the podium in race 2. Remy Verhaeg moves into the top 10. And Andy Darnell, who also had a bad start, is up into 19th, overtaking Mauricio Julian. Magic Kaschuk getting a little argy-bargy with Adam Komorowski. And Mauricio Delgado looking to make a move on the outside. Goes to the inside of Alexis Roget. And the man really looking at them very hungrily is Lacombe, who's going to bundle his way past Delgado into 14th place. A little bit of contact, but they keep going. Antonio Costa on the tail of Serge Hendricks. And Alexis Roget picking up a spot. Or, nope, not me. Still on the attack, or no, losing a spot actually to Lacombe, but then gaining a spot as Lacombe goes off the track. Serge Hendricks battling with Costa for 6th, and at the front it is teammates Adam Komorowski and James Butler battling for a spot. Both members of the Rick Rolling team with Rick Martel and Mauricio Julian. And Craig Marks further back looking to make a move on teammate Waylon Crace. James Butler off the track. and rejoins in 7th place.
Right, I think I'm in the neighborhood now.
I am at about 25:08, 07,
I'm
06.
just a couple seconds behind. We'll leave it there. You hear me like come on the tail end of something spectacular.
Andy Darnell picking up a spot there against Mauricio Delgado for 16th place. Andrew D going side by side with Remy Verhey. And Steve Davidson, I was going to say picking up another spot, but oh yeah, he did. He overtakes Mauricio Delgado. Adam Komorowski off the track. The race 1 and race 3 winner is in the wall.
All right.
He will drop probably out of the top 10 as a result of this. Rejoins in 10th, but he is not up to speed. And he has Verhaeg and D hot on his tail. Serge Hendricks up into 5th place. And further back, Steve Davidson looking to make a move on Andy Darnell. Two of the biggest losers off this race so far. -6 and -11 spots, respectively. So it is Kazchuk leading from Edmonds, finally having a good race. Bertrand Barre, Antonio Costa, Serge Hendricks, James Butler, Raul Valoria, Jeff Ecott in the top 10. Welcome. And Fotis Zoglu and Adam Komorowski rounding off. Craig Marks overtaking Waylon Crace, his teammate at the Shell team. And Crace goes off the track.
Maybe the force of his passing was too strong.
Maybe. Looks like we might actually be down to 22 cars. Just because he dropped off and no one passed him. So if anybody's outside the top 22, they are way back there.
30 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Vic Vega hits the curb and spins off the track.
Thanks.
That is an unforced error for the Dane. Steve Davidson ends up in the wall. That was less unforced. And he will drop back as well. Ironically, rejoins right behind Vic Vega. Craig Marks going side by side with Mauricio Julian. He's having a quiet but effective race here in race number 3. For the 18th. Kazchuk, Edmonds, Barry, and then this man, Antonio Costa, for top 4. Serge Hendricks running off the top 5. Costa looking down the inside. And moving into 3rd place, at least for the time being, against Bertrand Barrier. Never assume you've overtaken Bertrand Barrier, though. The man is truculent.
I heard he set a guy on fire once.
I hope not. I hope that rumor is false. Vic Vega running side by side with one of the Brightlings. That's Mauricio Julian, who is also going to lose a spot up to Steve Davidson.
Go for it to the front.
Lacombe off the track. And dropping back. Adam Komorowski on the move. He's overtaken Zoglu and Ecott. Up in 8th place. And somebody off the track there. That is Raul Valoria. Dropping back.
Raul.
Vic Vega thinking 3 wide. I wouldn't do it, Vic. That's with Lacombe and Davidson. And Steve Dave goes real wide. Can't make the overtake stick. Remains in 19th place for the time being. Serge Hendricks has had a quality round. Had a podium in race number 2. Finished in 8th place in race number 1 and is running in 5th at the moment. And Steve Davidson finally gets past Lacombe. A little physically, I might add.
Sounds good to me.
A little battle for third here between Costa, Barrier, and Hendricks. Komorowski watch. He's right up on the tail of James Butler. And Rick Martel picking up a spot there over Mauricio Delgado. So it is Delgado versus Martel for 15th place. And they get a trophy that says Byron's Love. Brings up the spot. Komorowski overtaking James Butler. Up front, it's Kazchuk by a second and a half over Edmonds, who is pretty well clear of this battle for third between Costa, Barrier, and Hendricks. Komorowski now up to 6th. Butler, Zoglu, Ekot having a good race in 9th, and Verhaeg. Your top 10.
But what about the middle 10?
Well, that would be Andrew D., Raul Valoria, Alexis Roger, Andy Darnell, Rick Martel, Mauricio Delgado, Craig Marks, Steve Davidson, Lezek Lacombe, Vic Vega, and Mauricio Hu.
The worst? Oh my god, Waylon, you have been destroyed.
Waylon Crace off the track again, yes. And looks like he's going to retire the car. Oh, we had more than 22 cars. Chris Willems has been here the whole time, never showed up on the tower.
Surprise!
Can't have Formula Junior racing without a Belgian driver.
Those crazy Belsh.
Oh, Vic Vega getting very physical with Lezek Lacombe for 19th place. I'm enjoying the Byron delayed reactions to everything I got.
Yeah, sneaking the swirly action.
Serge Hendricks still on the tail of Barrier. They are losing Costa a little bit. He's getting a little bit of breathing. Costa, by the way, has had a quiet day, but he was actually P9 in race 1 and P5 in race 2, so he's doing pretty well. Would love to finish his day off with a podium.
And 2 buckets of chicken.
Craig Marks on the tail of Davidson and Delgado. Davidson trying that really wide move again at what I'm just going to call Motegi corner, because it reminds me of a corner that there is in the twin ring of Motegi. Barrier getting shoved wide a little bit there by Serge Hendricks. Comes back on, retains 4th place. An age-old rivalry, French driver versus Dutch driver, and Barrier's off the track. Also off the track are Lacombe and Stewart.
And I believe they will be executed if they do not finish in first place.
Barrier going very slowly on rejoin here. Crawling. Those tires cannot be pleasant after a trip on the grass. Promotes Komorowski to 5th place. He's on the hunt. And Remy Verhaeg looking to make a move here on Otis Zoglu. Not happening right now. The French drivers trying to defend their home turf. With, let's just say minimal success, honestly. Although Remy Verhaeghe did have a 4th place in race 1. That is the best any of the French drivers have done. Oh, Lord. Craig Marks may have just killed Mauricio Delgado.
No!
Mr. Delgado went airborne there. That cannot be pleasant.
It's okay, just get him some more trees there, we'll be fine.
Komorowski on the tail of Serge Hendricks looking to get that 4th place. In the meantime, there is a massive train forming behind James Butler with Zoglu, Verhaeghe, Ecott, D all in it right now, and I'd be interested to see if Barrier catches up to it anytime soon as Komorowski goes into 4th place. Sliding through the field. Absolutely the class of the field. If it wasn't for a contact with the wall earlier, he'd be looking for a three-peat here. May still be looking for a three-peat because there's 14 minutes almost left in the race. Hendricks falls off in the air of his turbulence.
Oh my god.
Or what was the line from Knight's Tale? We walk in the valley of his turbulence.
Someone out there going to get a heck of a fonging.
I will fong you. Yes, master. Fonging, I know. Remy Verhaeghe picking up 7th place there from Fotis Zoglu after a prolonged battle. And Steve Davidson, after his podium in race 2, is just trying to go into damage control here, picks up 15th place over Rick Martel. Verhaeghe still fighting with Zoglu. And Serge Hendricks is falling back into this fight as well. Andrew D has joined it as he goes side by side with Jeff Ecott. Also, note for any of the fans of my streams and my rumblings about my MechWarrior buddies. Apparently, Brock had never encountered someone with their name spelled like that. Oh, Remy Verhaeghe gets just completely sideswiped by James Butler, and that's going to allow the Greek freak Fotis Zoglu back up into 7th place.
I mean, how else would you spell the name Brock?
No, the G, Jeff. He was calling somebody last night. He was calling someone last time we were playing G off the entire time. And I don't think he was kidding. Like, I think he thought that was his name.
Something tell me that boy Brock, he don't read no books.
I wouldn't surprise me. He's good at hockey. I don't know what else he's good at.
He's good at putting his false teeth in.
Probably. Actually, at some point, should ask him what he does for a living. I'm just morbidly curious what this man, who pays this man money, and for what?
He is a professional koala juggler.
He's never shared his profession. Everyone else kind of does, but he's not done it. We've got a bar owner. We've got a range instructor as Fotis Zoglu picks his way past James Butler and is followed through by Remy Verhaeghe, who probably does not have great emotions right now for Butler after that sideswipe. We have an engineer in the group whose name is Bo, which, I don't know, for me just is like very confusing. Remy Verhaeghe looking for a move. Not happening yet. So with 10 minutes to go, or 1/3 of the race remaining, Kazchuk leads from Edmonds, Costa, Komorowski, Hendricks, Zoglu, Verhaeghe, Butler, Ecott, and D. Barrier follows that up with Valoria, Darnell, Roger, Davidson, Martel, Marks, Vega, Julian, Crace, Stewart, and Willems. So Bertrand Barrier has a off and rejoins without issue. And possibly more cars, but we do not know.
Sorry for my absence. Got a random pocket dial from a friend of mine. I thought there was an emergency.
I see.
You know, everybody's got that friend that, never makes a phone call. It was very clear when I picked up the phone, what's going on?
I feel like that's all of my friends. They just text.
That is fair. I mean, I don't call you because I talk to you all the time.
Yeah. My only real phone calls are my dad and my uncle. Because they are old and refuse to text.
That is fair. Even my grandparents well, my grandfather's...
Whoa! Remy Verhaeghe in the wall!
Oh, boy.
And the French defense continues to be hampered.
Did a little inside-outside on himself.
Oh, he's lost his front nose cone.
It's just weight savings. It's fine.
So he's either going to have to go 8.5 minutes with that, or he's going to have to pit for a new nose cone. We'll see which he does. It's maybe the hardest contact we've seen with the wall all race. Not losing a lot of ground. Maybe he can run with the nose cone missing. I'd like to get the camera on him, see how that car handles like that, but also enjoying Andrew D as he tries to find his way past Jeff Ecott.
Jeff Ecott?
He's been staring at the back of Jeff Ecott's car for a long time, and I think he would love to fix the problem. Andrew D, 6th place in race 1 and race 2. Love a little bit more here. And goes down the inside of Ecott and holds it around the outside. 8th place for the Canadian. So I didn't come across the Atlantic Ocean to finish in 9th place. Vic Vega on the tail of Craig. Craig Marks is having a great race. He started this race, I think, in dead last. He's up to 17th. It credits him with a plus 13, which I don't think is correct because we didn't have 30 cars at the start. We did, at the very, very least, we'd lost 2. And we're down to at most 28. Vic Vega picks up the spot. Craig Marks just happy to be taking some points. I feel like Craig Marks is a guy who just needs to get a little bit familiar with the car. He just needs that track time in traffic to see what he can do. Driver from South Africa, which we don't see a ton of. In fact, I literally think I can count on one hand the number of South African drivers we've had in ESR.
17.
We have RC. We have Noel Kahn. Oh, we lost somebody there. One of the Breitling cars retiring.
Listen, I know Toronto's...
That's James Butler.
Toronto's huge, but Toronto doesn't reach all the way to South Africa.
He's born in South Africa.
Sure.
Also, technically does not live in Toronto.
It's all Toronto. It's all paved Toronto between Montreal and Detroit. It's all Toronto.
Remy Verhaeghe is elected to not fix the damage to his car and has actually just picked up 8th place. So I guess the car handles okay without a nose cone.
No, you need to introduce a nose dodecahedron.
5 minutes to go and change. About 3 laps, roughly. Vic Vega picking up a spot over Rick Martel. We need a 15th spot. What's the official Tugas team here for this series? The Costas, Valori, and Vega. So they are the shell cars. That is the Tugas crew. And of course, the official Petrolheads crew consisting of Kuvovic, Gunther, Brandt, and an absent William McComb.
Ice cream McComb?
A little bit. I mean, there is someone very special signed up for this series, but I'm not sure if we'll see him, and I'm hoping we don't see him. And I think you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I believe that would be David Cohn.
Was there anything wrong with David Cohn that I missed?
No. As far as I know, David.
I was gonna say, I think he was just a quality pitcher.
Yeah. I don't know, you said somebody special, and I already said Cohn a couple times, so figured it was David Cohn.
Well, I was going special in a negative.
It's not David Cohn?
It's not David Cohn.
Well, then I don't want to care.
It's Jimmy Key. No.
Oh, man. Boomer Esiason.
Here's a question for you as a gentleman who's a little bit older than I am. Was Boomer Esiason actually good?
Yeah, for a while.
I've always looked at his stats and been like, these look very, very, like,
he was,
not good.
What I guess people would refer to as a game manager. But he was also huge. Like, he's my
But he has so many interceptions, so I don't even know if you call him a game manager.
Well,
Greg Marks off track.
Didn't have a great team. Didn't he play for the Broncos?
Bengals.
There you go. He played in the second worst franchise of NFL history.
Second word. Yeah, probably.
Because the Browns is the Browns.
No, I assumed the Browns were the ones who got below them.
Oh, yeah.
Waylon Grace going down the inside of Mauricio Julian for 18th place.
I don't believe the Browns have won even one game in the last 75 years.
They have won games.
I don't believe
They've
that.
even made the playoffs.
I don't really believe that.
I'm just hoping they don't make the playoffs for the foreseeable future because of Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun and the Masters of the Universe.
I also just don't understand how they could do what they did to Baker Mayfield. This man brought you a playoff berth for the first time in like decades, and you just cast him to the side. Steve Day picking up 13th spot. Ahead of Alexis Roget. This is Boomer Esiason's like the only quarterback in NFL history that like he was a little bit before my time, so I didn't get to like watch him firsthand, experience that. And I just look at his stats and he's like, this guy's a big deal, but like these stats are very mediocre. Antonio Costa on the tail of Martin Edmonds. He would like to get Martin Edmonds between him and the charging force that is Adam Komarowski. Race 1 and 2 winner is in 4th place and hunting that podium. Nobody else has been on the podium for all 3 races.
Let's see here. Norman Julius Boomer Esiason played for almost a decade in Cincinnati, who were terrible. Played for the Jets after that for 2 years, who were terrible. And then went to the Cardinals, who were terrible. And back to the Bengals, who were terrible. So, yeah.
I think the first time I saw him was during the Cardinals era, which he was terrible.
Man got it. 1 MVP, NFL Man of the Year, first team All-Pro, 4 Pro Bowls, and the Cincinnati Bengals Ring of Honor, which is worth at least 4 cents.
Gotcha. Probably more than that.
5.5 cents.
Probably at least the average cost of a chili cheese dog.
That $3.75. I'm gonna be $3.75 for that.
Antonio Costa looking for a way around Martin Edmonds, who goes defensive. There is one of the yellow submarine cars off the track there. Not sure whom that would be.
Led the league twice in passing average. Different years.
Gotcha.
And only led the league once in interceptions.
Well, I didn't say you led the league. I said you had a lot. Oh! Komorowski with the dive bomb! Taking the podium on the last lap away from Antonio Costa. You heartless man.
I approve. Ruthlessness.
I do approve. Martin Edmonds' defensive driving allowed the door to be opened. And Komorowski would like to take Edmonds as well, but he is running out of corners to do it in. Still, we're looking at a 3-podium day for Adam Komorowski, 2 wins and a 3rd place, and he is undoubtedly your championship favorite and leader. Your race winner here in number 3 is Magic Cash Chuck. Martin Edmonds and Adam Komorowski will stand on the podium. Antonio Costa robbed of a podium on the last lap. He'll finish in 4th place. That is Serge Hendricks and Fotis Zoglu. Everybody else is still scrapping for a couple of spots here towards the end. A couple of points here and there. They could be important. Vic Vega is sideways on track.
Get him, Steve Dave. Oh, God. Here we go.
Lose a spot to Rick Martel. And Steve Davidson's going to come up short in his battle with Raul Valoria for 12th place. So, Andrew D., Remy Verhaeghe, Jeff Ecott, Bertrand Barrier, your top 10. So, despite losing his front end, Verhaeghe takes home 8th place. Then it is Andy Darnell, Raul Valoria, Steve Davidson, Alexis Roget, Rick Martel, Vic Vega, Craig Marks with a solid 17th place ahead of Mauricio Leon. Then it is Waylon Grace, Adam Stewart. This battle between Chris Willems and Adam Stewart are battling for 20th place. And I think it will be Adam who will take home that position. Leszek Lakomi will finish in 22nd place by the looks of it. Ooh, Adam Stewart had lost his nose cone as well. Spoiling myself here. Oh, Mauricio Delgado is probably the lapped car we saw earlier. He is apparently down in 23rd place. There are your results from race number 3. Kazchuk takes the victory, but it is Komorowski with a triple podium and a championship lead of somehow just 2 points. I do believe that is because this 3rd race was worth a lot of points.
Nagel, I've got some football trivia for you.
Not really sure why the long race is not at the beginning, but hey, that's just me. We lost James Butler, Christian Kubovic, Timo Ryder, Yuri Kartacheville, Enrique Hervas, Sebastian Gunther, and Melvin Brandt. So championship standings-wise, Adam Komorowski leading the way with 61 points, 59 for Magic Kazchuk, 42.5 for Serge Hendricks, Antonio Costa in 4th place on 39, Martin Edmonds on 35, 34 for Andrew D. It's really tight in this section of the championship, by the way. 28.5 for both Steve Davidson and Fotis Zoglu, Remy Verhaeghe on 28, and Andy Darnell rounding off the top 10 with 19.5. In the team's championship is the Canadian Pole 2.0, leading the way with 145.5 points. Dominant, actually. Rick Rollings on 82. Tugas Racing on 61.5, 54 for the French RaceRoom Racers. RaceRoom French Racer. There you go. And First Lap Heroes coming in with 46.5 points. There is no secondary class for the drivers, so that is it. So, Byron, do you have any final thoughts as we leave Charade and head to Paul Ricard?
Football trivia. for you yourself and the people at home, Boomer Esiason, as previously mentioned, has one NFL MVP. He has exactly the same amount of NFL MVPs as Dan Marino.
I think anytime anyone has the same amount as Dan Marino, it's just kind of sad for Dan Marino.
Kinda. Imagine playing on the Dolphins and not being on the Larry Zonka Dolphins.